Welcome back into the Orchard here in Yakima, Washington, Central Washington, for the Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Yakima Valley Pippins and the Port Angeles Lefties. Here on this beautiful Sunday, a great day for baseball. Austin Lane here in the broadcast booth filling in for Miles Clots for Game 2 of this doubleheader. I'd like to give a shout out to Zach helping on the video side for Game 2 here, and a quick shout out to McKenna for helping out with the video on Game 1. Again, Game 2 here coming up in a couple minutes. Game 1 going the Pippins' way. They moved to 3-3 so far in the second half of the season, 14-18 overall on the season with the 5-2 victory over the Lefties. The Lefties were the home team in Game 1 because it was a makeup game of a game that was supposed to be in Port Angeles when the Pippins visited them out in the Upper Peninsula of Washington State. Again, that game rained out, so the Pippins making it up here today at home, but we're the visiting team. 7-inning game. Pippins win at 5-2. Port Angeles falls to 2-3 so far in the second half of the season, and 12-19 overall on the season. And here's something to look out for, as they're already fixing something on the pitching mound. This is one thing you could see between a doubleheader. Some major field problems could be, a factor in this game too. We see the foul lines are not chalked up as well. They did water the area around home plate, but not the whole infield, so we could get some bad hops on some ground balls. Just a couple things to look out for in a doubleheader here today at the Orchard. Let's go through the starting lineups while they're trying to fix the pitching mound up there. Coming up now in the top of the inning here in the second game of the doubleheader, the Lefties, they'll lead off with Trevor Rosenberg, Nick DePonzio batting second. Sorry, Rosenberg playing shortstop, batting first. DePonzio hitting second right behind him in right field today. Matt Christian batting third. He's the DH. Batting fourth for the Lefties, the first baseman, C.J. Shawwecker. Batting fifth, their center fielder, Ethan Groff. And batting sixth, the third baseman, Evan Hearn. Rounding out the order, 7-8-9 for the Lefties, the left fielder, Xander Marco. Second baseman, Nick Berry. And the catcher, Tommy Takeyoshi. Again for the Lefties, Rosenberg, DePonzio, Christian, Shawwecker, Groff, Hearn, Marco, Berry, and Takeyoshi. With the pitcher for today for the Lefties, Dwayne Angabrandt. For the Pippins, they'll be leading off with shortstop Nick DiCarlo. Hitting second for them, the second baseman Brady Hormel. Hitting third, the right fielder Kyle Dean. Cleaning up, the designated hitter Aidan Welch. Batting fifth, Nick Israel playing third base. Batting sixth, the center fielder Luke Schwartz. And 7-8-9 for the Pippins, Tyler Dean, the first baseman, James Bell, the catcher, and Christian Padilla out in left field. Again for the Pippins, DiCarlo, Hormel, Dean, Welch, Israel, Schwartz, Dean, Bell, and Padilla. And the pitcher, Tristan Vreeling, for the Pippins out there on the mound now, as head coach Marcus McKimmey is back out on the field after his 2-game suspension because of some of the antics happening on Friday night, Game 1 of this 4-game series between the Pippins and the Lefties. He was suspended for yesterday's game, and Game 1 of the doubleheader here today. So he was back out there helping out with the mound. Now they're going to give Vreeling a couple more warm-up pitches out on the mound, try and get that dirt packed in the area where the pitcher's foot lands on the mound. That could be a problem, so definitely want to fix that. Don't want to see any injuries to the leg or knee area for the pitchers. Infielders still warming up. PA still going over some starting lineups. Again, a beautiful day here in Yakima for some baseball. Low cloud coverage, blue skies behind them. .83 degrees right now in Yakima. A high of 88 earlier in that first game of the doubleheader. Both games today in the doubleheader, 7 innings. So we'll play a total of 14 innings between the two games. Another 7-inning game coming up right here in a second. Umpires getting ready. Home plate umpire puts his mask on, and we are ready for Game 2 here at the Orchard between the visiting Port Angeles Lefties and the home team Yakima Valley Pippins. First pitch on the way and taken high for ball 1. Nick DiCarlo up now for the Lefties, the shortstop. His first at bat here in Game 2. of the doubleheader, game 4 of the 4-game series. He takes the next pitch inside for ball 2. Austin Lane in the broadcast booth filling in for Miles Clots here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Next pitch to DiCarlo, grounded out to shortstop. Throw on over to first is in time by Trevor Rosenberg for out number 1. So game 2 of the doubleheader underway now between the Lefties and Pippins. A pivotal game for both teams. Lefties 2-3 overall in the second half. Pippins now 3-3 in the second half of the season, after the first half did not go too well for either team. Lefties and the Pippins both with a losing record in the first half. Both teams trying to get off to a good start in the second half of the season. First pitch to the second batter in the lineup for the Pippins, Nick DiPonzio, is taken for a ball. 1-0 is the count. With a win here, the Lefties could get back to 500, and with a win for the Pippins, they could go above 500. Next pitch popped up to short third base. It's the shortstop, Rosenberg, calling off the third baseman, Nick Israel, and making the catch for out number 2. Excuse me, the shortstop for the Pippins today is Nick DiCarlo. Lefty shortstop is Trevor Rosenberg. He was the leadoff hitter. Nick DiPonzio making out number 2 there. That'll bring up the third batter in the lineup for the Lefties. Matt Christian, their designated hitter, he takes first pitch for a ball, 1-0. CJ Shawwalker in the on-deck circle for the Lefties. Next pitch to Christian, line down the left field line for a base hit. That's going to scoot on into the corner. Left fielder Christian Padilla up with it and in, but not in time. Matt Christian heads into second base with a 2-out double. So CJ Shawwalker will step in for the Lefties now with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. First pitch to Shawwalker from Vreeling on the way. Taken low for a ball, 1-0. Shawwalker playing first base on the defensive side with his first at-bat here for the Lefties in game 2 of the doubleheader. Christian takes his lead at second. Vreeling gets his sign, now delivers. Swing and a miss by Shawwalker. Count evens up at 1-1. We'll be on the video side only for game 2 of the doubleheader here today, but we will be back audio and video for the Pippins' next game on Tuesday. As the next pitch to Shawwalker is in for strike 2. 1-2 is the count now. Ethan Groff, the lefty center fielder, in the on-deck circle. The 1-2 now on the way to Shawwalker. Swung on, popped up into left field. The left fielder Padilla coming in, and he's got it for out number 3. So the Lefties with no runs off one hit, the double by Matt Christian, no errors by the Pippins on defense, and they'll be coming up now in the bottom of the first inning for their first at-bats here in game 2 of the doubleheader, right after this on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Call this home, that's where I belong, that's where I belong. Call this home, that's where I belong, that's where I belong.
Finding the right home is inspiring. That's why at Banner, we listen, learn, and help you find the home loan that lets you achieve your dreams.
That's where I belong.
Les Schwab is proud to introduce 2 of our best tires ever just in time for summer road trip season. There's our exclusive open range AT that we believe is our quietest, smoothest, and best all-season traction tire ever. Or the Reputation, our exclusive high-mileage premium passenger tire. Get even more road trip ready with our free pre-trip safety check. Stop by or book an appointment today at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
Back now for the bottom of the first inning. Pippins getting their first at-bats with DeCarlo, Hormel, and Dean coming up. Lefties with one hit there in the top of the first inning, a double, but no runs coming out of it. Warming up on the mound now for the Lefties, their pitcher Dwayne Engbrandt. Starting game 2 of the doubleheader here at the Orchard between these two teams. Game 1, the Lefties were the home team, although we are in Yakima, making up for a game that was rained out over in Port Angeles. Pippins still in the third base dugout for both games, but officially the home team for this second game of the doubleheader.
Leading off for the Pippins here, the foul down to the fifth inning, the shortstop, Nick DiCarlo.
Nick DiCarlo, the shortstop for the Pippins, stepping in now for their first at-bats. Engbrandt looks in, gets his sign, the windup, and the pitch. And the first pitch of the ballgame for Engbrandt comes inside just a little too far and hits Nick DiCarlo on the hip, and he will take first base. And the Pippins, one pitch, one base runner. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brady Hormel. DiCarlo takes his lead at first base after the hit by pitch. Engbrandt gets his sign. Now the pitch to Hormel is in there for a strike, 0-1. Hormel, 31 at-bats so far in 2019, a .258 batting average. He's got 1 double and 4 RBIs on the season. Engbrandt gets his sign once again, the 0-1 to Hormel. Way inside yet again. This one did not hit the batter, but that allows Nick DiCarlo to get to second on the wild pitch. Engbrandt, 2 out of his first 3 pitches, nowhere close. And now a runner in scoring position with nobody out for the Pippins in the bottom of the first inning. They'll look to get out early here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Hormel steps back in. Engbrandt ready. And the 1-1. Taken. Just high for a ball. 2-1 is the count now. The 2-1 now from Engbrandt. Taken once again, 3-1 is the count. Hormel with the hitter's count. See if he gets the green light from the third base coach, Marcus McKimmey. Back in his normal spot. Engbrandt trying not to lose the first 2 batters of this inning. His 3-1 is on the way. Outside, ball 4. And Hormel gets to take first base for free with the base on balls. And that'll bring up right fielder Kyle Dean.
Now batting for the Pippins, the right fielder, Kyle Dean.
Kyle Dean steps in with a runner on first and second. Nobody out still here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Engbrandt to Dean is in there for a strike 1, 0-1. Dean, somewhat new to the Pippins, joining on July 10th. Debuting in a non-league game on that day for the Pippins. Dean facing an 0-1 count. Next pitch from Engbrandt. Inside once again. Dean has to get out of the way. Count evens up at 1-1. Aidan Welch, the designated hitter, on deck for the Pippins. Both runners taking off with this pitch, and it's fouled straight back by Dean. DiCarlo, the runner, on second. Hormel on first. DiCarlo got quite a good jump there on that pitch. Dean facing a 1-2 count now. Lefty's getting out early in game one of the doubleheader with a 2-run inning. And then the Pippins scoring 5 runs in the top of the 4th inning. And that would end up being the final score on that one, 5-2. With a win here, the Pippins could win the series 3-1. Lefty's looking to take a series split. Next pitch. Dribbled out to first base. Both runners will advance on the play. Close play at first, but Dean's going to be out. DiCarlo and Hormel advance to third and second, respectively, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Aidan Welch.
Now batting for the Pippins, the designated hitter, Aidan Welch.
Aidan Welch coming up in a big spot here. Exactly what you want if you're the Yakima Pippins, who are not used to jumping out ahead early in ball games. A great chance here to score in the bottom of the 1st inning and break this game open early. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch to Welch, he hacks and misses at a ball low. Looking for something on that first pitch. Corners are playing in. Infielders playing back, pretty much on the outfield grass for both of them. Next pitch to Welch, taken outside for a ball, 1-1. Welch hitting .333 so far in the season, one of the better batting averages on the Pippins roster. Does have 5 RBIs. Next pitch is fouled out of play. 1-2 is the count. An opportunity for Aidan Welch to contribute here. He's the designated hitter today. Batting cleanup. On deck, the third baseman, Nick Israel. The 1-2 pitch now for Mangbrandt. Swing and a miss, and Welch goes down swinging. 2 outs now for the third baseman, Nick Israel. Pippin still without a hit here in this ball game. DiCarlo on third base, reaching via the hit by pitch. Hormel on second via the walk. First pitch to Israel. Taken on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Israel, the switch hitter, batting on the left side against the righty, Mangbrandt. Hitting .294 on the season. The 0-1 to him. Taken high and outside for a ball, 1-0. Or excuse me, 1-1. Mangbrandt, after giving up the first 2 runners, letting the first 2 runners reach base here in the inning, looking for 3 straight outs to get out of the bottom of the 1st inning. His 1-1 to Israel on the way. Israel pops this one up. Shortstop over. And it's going to be the shortstop, Trevor Rosenberg, making the catch for out number 3. So Pippin's getting the first 2 base runners on with the hit by pitch and the walk. But then Dean goes ground out, Welch strikes out, and then Israel pops up to end the inning. So it's still 0-0 tie here at the Orchard as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. Lefties coming up for their second at-bats right after this on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
At Cascade Natural Gas, we help smart businesses cover their bases. Old, new, and in between. No matter the age of your building, they all benefit from energy-efficient choices. Cascade Natural Gas offers a long list of incentives for energy-efficient upgrades. Upgrades that save your business money every day. Become one of the many Cascade business owners benefiting from the quality, comfort, and savings of energy-efficient upgrades. Join Team Energy Efficiency and take advantage of rebates from Cascade Natural Gas.
What does traveling really cost you? After all the hassles and spendings along the way, how much do you really save? When you fly YKM, you can save on gas, money, sleep, parking fees, stress, and most of all, the one thing you can't get back, your time. Those savings really add up. What's that worth to you? Fly faster. Fly YKM. Visit flyykm.com, where you can connect to over 85 cities. Book your flight today.
Back now at the Orchard for the top of the second inning, still scoreless here in Yakima between the visiting Port Angeles Lefties and the home team, the Yakima Valley Pippins, 0-0. Vreeling back on the mound for the Pippins. Ethan Groff leading off the top of the second inning now for the Lefties. He'll be followed by Evan Hearn and Xander Marco. First pitch from Vreeling. Swung on and chopped out into the stands on the first base side, lands in the bleachers. Starts the count 0-1. Next pitch now. Swung on and hit out to left field. That's going to be a base hit. That drops in front of Christian Padilla, the left fielder. Groff stops at first and has a leadoff single for the Lefties. And that'll bring up Lefties third baseman Evan Hearn. Groff taking his lead at first. A throw over to first, not in time. Reeling with a nice move over to first base. Groff back in safely though. Lefties with 2 hits in the top of the first inning but could not capitalize. Another throw to first is not in time once again. Groff back in safely again. Excuse me, the Lefties did not have 2 hits in the top of the first inning despite the scoreboard here at the stadium saying that they only had 1 hit, the double by Matt Christian. Groff takes his lead once again and another throw over, this one closer, but still safe. First baseman over there, Tyler Dean, doing a quick tag and a show to the field umpire. Really trying to sell that one, but still safe. Ethan Groff takes his lead again. Reeling looks over again. And finally the first pitch. Bunt shown, pulled back, and the runner will take second on the passed ball there. Sounded like it made contact with something, but might have been just the catcher's glove there. So Ethan Groff on at second now. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. 1-0 is the count to Evan Hearn, Lefty's third baseman. We'll see if Hearn shows bunt here again. Trying to get Groff to third base. Lefties with only 2 runs in the first game of the doubleheader. He does lay down the bunt down the third base line, but it will go foul. Third baseman Nick Israel picking that one up before it could have a chance of going back into fair play. It did hit the grass and start to roll back towards the line after being fouled the whole way. Count evens up at 1-1 to Evan Hearn. Hearn steps back in the box. Now the 1-1 pitch from Vreeling. He does not show bunt. Here's another wild pitch though, and the runner will get to third anyways. check swing appeal to the field umpire, and they're going to say that Hearn did go around on that pitch. So the count is now 1-2 to Hearn, with Groff on at third base after this single and 2 wild pitches from Vreeling on the mound. Next pitch from Vreeling on the way. In there for strike 3 called. Hearn with the slow walk back to the dugout. And that'll bring up the left fielder Xander Marco for the Lefties. Ethan Groff on at third base with 1 out now here in the top of the second inning. Still scoreless here at the Orchard. Marco his first at bat here in game 2 of the doubleheader. First pitch in there for a strike from Vreeling, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Vreeling, now on the way. Taken again for strike 2, 0-2. Vreeling getting into a bit of a groove here after some wild pitches moved Groff from first to third in the last at bat. Marco falls behind, 0-2. Tyler Dean over at first base playing way in on the grass. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. And Marco goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Vreeling. We'll bring up the second baseman, Nick Berry, for the Lefties, who are just trying to get ahead early in this ball game. A runner on third with nobody out has quickly become a runner on third with 2 outs. Vreeling, first pitch, in there for a strike. Berry steps back in. Only a 7-inning game, so you'd like to jump out ahead early in these quick games. Berry shows bunt, pulls it back, and another strike from Vreeling. And again, he did not have that good of control earlier in this inning, letting Groff get on base with a single and then moving him to second on a wild pitch and then third on a wild pitch with nobody out. But now he is dealing to close out this inning. His next pitch, a ground ball just past his glove. Second baseman Hormel gets the ball, throws it, and it is a wild throw. So all that for nothing for Vreeling. The runner on third, Groff, does come in off of the error, the throwing error by the second baseman, Brady Hormel, and the Lefties lead it 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. That'll bring up the 9th hitter in the lineup for the Lefties, Tomi Takayoshi, their catcher. Berry on at first base with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. And both umpires looking at their lineup cards right now, and the Lefties head coach coming over from his third base coaching spot to talk to the field umpire. Not sure what about. Could be a batter batting out of order. That'd be the only thing I can think of for why both of them are looking at their lineup cards. And now we have the Lefties coach arguing, it seems like, with the field umpire. Again, Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots here in Game 2 of the doubleheader here at the Orchard. And Game 4 of the 4-game series between the Lefties and the Pippins. Lefties head coach back to his normal coaching position. Nick Berry still on at first. He takes his lead, and now we're ready to go. First pitch to Takayoshi from, and the runner, Berry, takes off to second. Throw down is in time for out number 3. James Bell gunning down Nick Berry at second base on the first pitch there to get out number 3. Lefties do pick up a run. Ethan Groff comes all the way around from first on some wild pitches, and then an error by the second baseman Brady Hormel to make it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second here at the Orchard on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Puget Sound native Mike Runyon can fit more in a day than most, which is good because in addition to being a craft beer pioneer and working parent, he grows his own food, rides BMX, and has even been known to try a chainsaw carving or two. Mike's defined by his differences. At Heritage Bank, we think differences can build a better bank, too. That together, we're more than a community bank, but rather a community of banks, which means more ideas for his business and yours.
Sure, Drunk You is a pretty cool guy, but he's not exactly what you would call reliable. He's not a maker of great decisions, or for that matter, even adequate decisions. The point is, you shouldn't trust the version of you that created the macaroni taco to create a plan to get you home safe. Make a plan before you party.
The Lefties take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second here at the Orchard. Pippins coming up for their second inning of at-bats. They'll lead off with the center fielder Luke Schwartz, and then it'll be the first baseman Tyler Dean and the catcher James Bell as they try to answer back to the Lefties. 1 run in the top of the second there. Game 2 of the doubleheader here today. Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots.
Leading off to the pitching field, the bottom half of the second inning, the center fielder, Luke Schwartz.
Luke Schwartz steps in and is ready to go. And Engelbrandt on the mound for the Lefties, his first pitch. Swung on, popped up, high pop-up. Coming down and making the catch is the second baseman Nick Berry for out number 1. That'll bring up first baseman Tyler Dean.
Now batting for the Pippins, the first baseman, Tyler Dean.
Tyler Dean comes up with 1 out now here in the bottom of the second. He takes the first pitch as well. This one a grounder to Nick Berry, who throws on over to first in time for out number 2. 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Lefties on defense here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up catcher James Bell. We'll see if Lefties pitcher Dwayne Engelbrandt can get a 3-pitch inning here. One of the rarer things in baseball. That's if James Bell even swings at the first pitch here in this at-bat, which is on the way and in there for a strike on 1. No 3-pitch inning for Engelbrandt. Bell hitting 182 so far in 2019. Joined the team on June 18th. Next pitch to him is low and outside for a ball, 1-1. Bell missed 12 games with an arm injury in late June and carried into early July. Had a multi-hit game in his first game back from that injury. Next pitch to him is in there for a strike, 1-2. Sixth pitch from Engelbrandt on the way here in the bottom of the second inning. Taken low for a ball, 2-2, count evens up. Bell, a native of Fresno, California. Played his freshman season of ball at University of Oregon last year. He takes the next pitch down the right field line out of play for a foul. Count stays 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The 2-2 pitch now from Engbrandt. Bell takes this one out to shortstop. Shortstop's up with it, throw over. That would have been an amazing play. It looked like it went off the third baseman for the Lefties, Evan Hearn's glove, and eventually went into the shortstop's glove, Trevor Rosenberg. And the throw across the diamond was a hard one, but not quite in time. James Bell reaches first base with the first hit of Game 2 of the doubleheader here today for the Pippins. That'll bring up the ninth hitter in the lineup for the Pippins today, the left fielder Christian Padilla. Bell takes a slight lead at first base. Engbrandt from the stretch. His first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Padilla hitting 182 on the season, 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. He's one of the few players on the Pippins that have been here since the home opening series against the Wenatchee Apple Sox. The 1-0 to him. Padilla rips this out to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Bell and Padilla going back-to-back singles with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup once again for the Pippins in Nick DiCarlo. DiCarlo stepping in for his second at-bat. He was hit by the pitch, the first pitch of the game, in his last at-bat in the top of the, in the bottom of the first inning. DiCarlo steps in, and Engbrandt his first pitch, taken inside and low, 1-0. DiCarlo hitting .217 on the season. Joined the team on July 2nd. Next pitch to him, taken inside once again, 2-0. Both teams with 2 hits so far in the bottom of the second now. Lefties leading at 1-0. Pippins looking to answer back. 2-0's the count to DiCarlo with 2 outs. Next pitch, no, a turn to second. A look at James Bell out on second base. Engbrandt ready, now the 2-0. That's taken on the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 is the count now to Nick DiCarlo. Nick DiCarlo, a native of Scottsdale, Arizona, a junior at Cal Poly. Hit .254 in his sophomore season at Cal Poly this last season. He takes the next pitch down the third base line, but foul. 2-2 is the count. DiCarlo earned All-City, All-Section, and All-State honors in his senior season at Arcadia High School in Phoenix, Arizona. Now facing a 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second and 2 runners on. DiCarlo, ground ball out to shortstop. Throw over to second, and he's safe at second. Padilla sliding in underneath, well, not a tag, it would have been a force out, but still getting in time. Shortstop Trevor Rosenberg choosing to go for the quick out at second base there instead of tossing it across the diamond to try and get out number 3 at first. But now the bases are loaded for Brady Hormel. We'll wait for the scoreboard to let us know if that was a hit or an error. Still hasn't updated there. I'm sure that will be a hit. Or actually a fielder's choice, that's what it'll go down as. First pitch to Hormel, fouled back for a strike, 0-1. Bases loaded now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Pippins trailing 1-0, looking to answer back and get on the board. Only 7 innings here in this game. Next pitch. Taken outside by Hormel. Long hold by the lefties catcher, Takayoshi. Hormel with a walk in his first plate appearance in the first inning. 1-1 is the count from Engbrandt. He looks in, gets a sign, the stretch, and the delivery. Taken low and inside for a ball, 2-1. Hormel steps back in, facing a 2-1 count. Bases loaded for the Pippins. Engbrandt now with the 2-1. Swung on and fouled almost into the glove of the catcher Takayoshi. Hits his glove and falls out. Count evens up at 2-2. Hormel takes off his helmet, looks into it for a second there before stepping back in the batter's box. Pippins looking to keep this 2-out rally going. Hormel, a ground ball to short. And the shortstop, Rosenberg, having some trouble coming up with that one, but still gets it over to first base in time for out number 3. So the Pippins getting 2 outs early in the inning, but then getting a single, and then Nick DiCarlo reached by a fielder's choice. But then Brady Hormel grounds out there to end the inning and leave the bases loaded. We'll head to the top of the 3rd inning here at the Orchard. Lefties lead at 1-0 on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Call this home. That's where I belong. That's where I belong. Call this home. That's where I belong. That's where I belong.
Finding the right home is inspiring. That's why at Banner, we listen, learn, and help you find the home loan that lets you achieve your dreams.
That's where I belong.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Leading off the top of the 3rd inning now for the Lefties will be Takayoshi, their catcher. He's hitting 9th in the lineup. First pitch to him, taken outside for a ball, 1-0 from Tristan Vreeling, pitcher on the mound for the Pippins here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Pippins trail 1-0 after the Lefties get 1 run in the top of the 2nd inning. Next pitch to Takayoshi, swung on and missed for a strike, 1-1. Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots here in Game 2 of the doubleheader today at the Orchard. Vreeling gets his sign, now the windup and the pitch in there for strike 2, 1-2. Forgot to let you know about one of our sponsors here at the Yakima Valley Pippins. I'll let you know about Pingree Ford here in a second after we get through this at bat. 1-2 is the count to Takayoshi. Swing and a miss, and Takayoshi down on strikes. Pingree Ford is the proud sponsor of the 2nd inning tonight. It's now the 3rd inning, but that's okay. Pingree Ford is your trusted Ford dealership in Sela with an extensive new and pre-owned inventory. Visit Pingree Ford at 102 West Natchez Avenue in Sela when you're looking for your next vehicle. First pitch to the leadoff hitter in the lineup, Trevor Rosenberg, in there for strike 0-1. Vreeling takes his sign, now the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit out to shortstop. And throw over in time for out number 2 by Nick DiCarlo. That'll bring up right fielder Nick DiPonzio for the Lefties.
Now batting for the Lefties, the right fielder, Nick DiPonzio.
First pitch to DiPonzio in there for a strike, 0-1. DiPonzio 0 for 1 so far in this game. Steps back in. Vreeling gets his sign, now the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Foul tip into the glove of catcher James Bell. Count moves to 0-2. Vreeling looking for another quick inning here in the top of the third. The 0-2 pitch from him. Swung on, hit out into left field in between short and third base for a base hit.
Now batting for the Lefties, the designated hitter, Matthew Christian.
Nick DiPonzio on at first base now for the designated hitter Matt Christian. Stepping in for his second at bat in this one. DiPonzio takes his lead at first. First pitch to Christian, swung on and hit out to right field. This one's deep, but foul and out of play. Count moves to 0-1 on Christian. DiPonzio made his way all the way to third base. By the time the ball landed, he jogs across the infield, now back to first base. Christian with a double back in his first at bat in the first inning. Lined into the left field corner. One of the 3 hits so far for the Lefties here in this one. Christian steps back in, now the 0-1 from Vreeling. Swung on again, fouled back. Count moves to 0-2. DiPonzio takes his lead again at first base. Vreeling takes a look over. Now comes set. And the 0-2 on the way. Swung on, dropped third strike. James Bell up with it, throw to first in time for out number 3. Lefties no run on one hit, the single by Nick DiPonzio. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, Lefties ahead 1-0 on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
What does traveling really cost you? After all the hassles and spendings along the way, how much do you really save? When you fly YKM, you can save on gas, money, sleep, parking fees, stress, and most of all, the one thing you can't get back, your time. Those savings really add up. What's that worth to you? Fly faster. Fly YKM. Visit flyykm.com, where you can connect to over 85 cities. Book your flight today.
Les Schwab is proud to introduce 2 of our best tires ever just in time for summer road trip season. There's our exclusive open range AT that we believe is our quietest, smoothest, and best all-season traction tire ever. Or the Reputation, our exclusive high-mileage premium passenger tire. Get even more road trip ready with our free pre-trip safety check. Stop by or book an appointment today at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
Kyle Dean, Aidan Welch, and Nick Israel due up for the Pippins as we head to the bottom of the third inning here at the Orchard. Pippins trailing 1-0, looking for their first run here in Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Lefties and Pippins today. Lefties taking the first game today. The Pippins taking the first game today, 5-2. And they lead the series 2-1 now. Looking for a series win today. Lefties just trying to get a win and take a series split 2-2. First pitch to Dean, taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Lefties catcher Tommy Takayoshi sailing a ball out to center field on his warm-up throw down to second base at the end of warm-ups in between innings. Thought that was interesting. Next pitch to Dean, taken for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 now to Dean. Swung on, hit out to second base. And it's caught out there by the second baseman, Nick Berry, for out number 1. Kyle Dean getting a pitch there, connecting with it pretty well, but right to Nick Berry. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Aidan Welch, now for the Pippins. One out now here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lefties lead 1-0 off of 3 hits. Pippins with 3 hits and an error, but no runs. Looking for their first run here in game 2. Welch takes inside for a ball, 1-0. Welch 0 for 1 so far in this one with a strikeout swinging back in the bottom of the 1st inning. Next pitch to Welch. Check swing, but in there for a strike anyways, 1-1. Welch back in. Dwayne Engbrandt gets his sign now. The delivery taken inside again, 2-1. Welch steps back in. Now the 2-1 pitch from Engbrandt. Wind up and the delivery. Swung on. Ground ball out to the shortstop, Rosenberg. Toss on over to first is in time for out number 2. Nick Israel, the 3rd baseman, looking to get something started here in the bottom of the 3rd inning now with 2 outs for the Yakima Pippins. First pitch from Engbrandt, taken low for a ball, 1-0. Israel 0 for 1 in this one. Pop out in the 1st inning. The 1-0 now from Engbrandt. Taken in just about the same exact spot there for another ball, 2-0. Israel, a native of Henderson, Nevada, playing his college ball at the College of Southern Nevada. Hit .250 as a freshman last season. Next pitch to him in there for a strike, 2-1. He took a redshirt year as a true freshman at San Diego State in 2018. The 2-1 now. Swung on by Israel and missed. 2-2, a big cut there. Israel played for the Pippins in 2018, only 7 games. Next pitch fouled back, count stays 2-2. He went 2 for 5 at the plate for the Pippins in 2018. More at-bats so far this season. He had 34 coming into today, hitting .294. The 2-2 now to him. Swung on, hit out in between first and second base. And Israel will reach first base with a single. Takes a wide turn at first. Testing the right fielder there, but heads back to first base, and the Pippins have a base runner. Center fielder Luke Schwartz steps in for his second at-bat, with Nick Israel on at first base now for the Pippins. Shows bunt and pulls it back. Ball 1-0. Both pitchers doing well so far. Engbrandt for the Lefties has not given up a run yet here in the first 2 2/3 inning. Next pitch, ground ball to third base. Trouble coming up with it. Throw across the diamond's going to be close. He's safe. Schwartz legs one out. Evan Hearn, the third baseman for the Lefties, having some trouble with that one, and they're going to give him an error on that. So now 2 runners on for the Pippins, and Tyler Dean stepping in.
First baseman Tyler Dean.
Pippins with 6 base runners so far here as we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still looking for their first run. First pitch to Dean, taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Dean 0 for 1 in this one with a ground out back in the 2nd inning. Nick Israel on at second base, Luke Schwartz on at first base. Infield shifted to the right just a bit. Behind Engbrandt, who looks in, gets his sign, and now the 1-0. Slow pitch on the outside corner, taken for a strike, 1-1. Sun beginning to set here in Yakima. 8:26 local time. Engbrandt steps off. Nick Israel dancing around second base. Tyler Dean steps back in. Another look back at second, no throw. Israel back in. One and one is the count to Dean. See if we get a pitch here to him. We do. Dean takes this out to shortstop, but right to the lefty shortstop, Trevor Rosenberg, for out number 3. Pippins no run on 1 hit, 1 reached by an error for the Lefties. And the Lefties still lead it 1-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning here on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Prosser Memorial Health's Grandview Clinic is now open and accepting new patients. Services include family medicine, women's health, mental health, and after-hours care. The Grandview Clinic is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week to best serve you and your loved ones. Walk-ins are welcome, and se habla español. This is how we care.
At Cascade Natural Gas, we help smart businesses cover their bases. Old, new, and in between. No matter the age of your building, they all benefit from energy-efficient choices. Cascade Natural Gas offers a long list of incentives for energy-efficient upgrades. Upgrades that save your business money every day. Become one of the many Cascade business owners benefiting from the quality, comfort, and savings of energy-efficient upgrades. Join Team Energy Efficiency and take advantage of rebates from Cascade Natural Gas.
Back now for the top of the 4th inning here at the Orchard. It'll be CJ Shawwecker, Ethan Groff, and Evan Hearn for the Lefties. With Vreeling still out on the mound for the Pippins, his first pitch to Shawwecker in there for a strike, 0-1. 1 run on 3 hits so far for the Lefties. Next pitch from Vreeling, taken outside, 1-1. Tonight's 4th inning sponsor, Les Schwab, set the standard for tire service more than 65 years ago, and they continue to go out of their way to keep you on your way. Swing and a miss by C.J. Shawwecker. 1-2 is the count. With 3 locations in Yakima and Sela, the dedicated professionals at Les Schwab provide useful advice and excellent service every day at Les Schwab. Doing the right thing matters. Reeling with the 1-2, taken low. 2-2 is the count. Shawwecker 0 for 1 so far in this one. Shawwecker steps back in, now the 2-2 from Vreeling. Swung and chopped out to first base. Toss over to Vreeling, covering in time for out number 1. That'll bring up center fielder Ethan Groff for the Lefties. Groff stepping in for his second at-bat. First pitch to him. Shows bunt, pops it straight up. And it hits the netting separating the field and the stands. So that'll be a foul ball. 0-1 is the count. Groff with a single in his first at-bat back in the top of the second inning. He was the first batter in that inning. So he led off with a single, reached second with the wild pitch by Vreeling, and then reached third with another wild pitch in the same at-bat before coming around to score as the next pitch to him evens up the count. 1-1, a ball outside. He'd come around to score on the error by the second baseman, Hormel. That's the only run so far in this ball game. Next pitch to him, hit out to right field. The right fielder, Kyle Dean, coming in, could not make the play and then spikes it into the grass before it gets to second base, and Ethan Groff will be in for the second time in this one. They're going to give that one a hit. So Dean out there in right field with no chance to get to that one. Pippins now have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Evan Hearn steps in now for the Lefties, their third baseman. Ethan Groff on in scoring position. Vreeling looks back now, delivers the first pitch. In the dirt, good stop by the catcher, Bell. 1 ball and no strikes. Evan Hearn striking out looking in his first at-bat, back in the top of the second inning. Groff takes his lead at second. Vreeling looks back, now comes with the 1-0. Taken outside for a ball, 2-0. Is the count to Evan Hearn with first base open. Ethan Groff on at second. Vreeling comes home, swung on, grounded out the first base line, foul, over towards the Lefties' bullpen. A member of their bullpen picks it up. Two and 1 is the count now to Evan Hearn. Vreeling steps off, keeping Groff in check out at second base. Shortstop Nick DiCarlo hovering behind him in case Vreeling chooses to go for a pickoff throw to second. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Slow curveball in there for a strike, 2-2. Evan Hearn steps out of the box, adjusts his batting gloves, and steps back in. Facing a 2-2 count now. Vreeling gets his sign and comes set. Takes a look at Groff. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tip. Hearn stays alive in this at-bat. Temperature finally cooling off now here in Yakima. 88 degrees earlier, now at 80. Time called by Hearn. Does not feel like 80 degrees, a little bit of wind cooling it off a little bit. Reeling back to his normal set position. Hearn steps back into the batter's box. A 2-2 count. Reeling comes set. And the pitch. Runner takes off. Foul ball off the right ankle of Hearn. Groff with a good jump out there at second. He could have gotten third. But Hearn swinging to protect the batter. Or excuse me, the runner on second. Count stays 2-2. One out here in the top of the fourth inning. Lefties lead 1-0. Reeling gets a sign once again and another 2-2 pitch. Foul tipped barely. Hearn doing a good job of running up Reeling's pitch count here in this at bat. Groff takes his lead once again at second base. Reeling comes set. And this time he does take a look at second base. Groff back in safely. Reeling comes set again. The 2-2, we'll see who blinks first here between the pitcher and the batter. Swung on and another foul ball. One of the longest at-bats I think I've seen all season so far here. And it's not even a full count. It's still 2-2. Reeling still has another pitch to waste if he wants to. First base is empty as well. Hearn, though, fouling off pitch after pitch here in this at-bat. The look back to second. Reeling now the 2-2. And this one is towards first base, and it's foul. Yet again. Unfortunately, I have not been keeping track of how many foul balls in a row Hearn has hit, so I'm not going to tell you a number. I'm not going to make up a number, but I know that it is a lot so far. Reeling, we'll see if he wastes a pitch here, trying to get Hearn swinging, trying to foul another one off. Next pitch. Popped up and out of play for a foul ball. An absolute battle going on right now in this game between Pippins' starting pitcher, Tristan Reeling, and Lefty's third baseman, Evan Hearn. Home plate umpire, Brendan Lynch, getting more balls from the Pippins ball boy, or ball girl. After foul, here in this at-bat, 2-2, still the count. Groff still on at second base, takes his lead once again. Reeling might step off here again, he doesn't. Goes home with it. Finally a fair ball in play to Hormel, the second baseman, and finally, after a lengthy battle between Reeling and Hearn, Hearn goes down on the ground out. That moves Groff over to third base. And the second run for the Lefties is 90 feet away, with Xander Marco coming up for his second at-bat in the game. Finally, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Lefties leading 1-0. Marco steps in with Groff on at third. First pitch taken for a ball, 1-0. No pitchers warming up in either bullpen so far. Reeling has had to work to get through this inning. 1-0 is the count to Marco. Next pitch, ground ball down the third base line, stays fair, hooks over the bag, and that'll be an RBI for Marco. He rounds first. Ball is being juggled down there in the left field corner by Padilla, and finally up with it and in but not before Xander Marco reaches second base with an RBI double. Lefties now lead it 2-0. Ethan Groff finally comes around from second base after his one-out double and doubles the lead of the Lefties here at the Orchard in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Marco on at second with Nick Berry up now for the Lefties. First pitch to him is swung on and missed for a strike, 0-1. It's the first RBI for the Lefties here in this one. Their first run scored on a throwing error by second baseman Brady Hormel for the Pippins to bring in Ethan Groff. He's now scored 2 runs, both of the runs for the Pippins in this game. Marco on at second, and the next pitch to Berry is swung on and missed. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Bell. 0-2 is the count to Berry. Berry was the batter that reached first base on that throwing error by Hormel back in the second inning. Now up for his second at bat in this one. The 0-2 pitch to him. Outside, held by Bell, but called a ball. 1-2. Only the 5th batter in this inning, but it has felt like we have made a trip all the way through the lineup with how long this one has taken. The 1-2 count to Berry on the way from Vreeling. In there for a called strike 3, and that will end the inning. Pippins 1 run off the double by Groff and then the RBI, the double by Groff and then the RBI double by Xander Marco. Makes it 2-0 Lefties as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Pippins looking for their first run here in Game 2 of the doubleheader right after this on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Sure, Drunk You is a pretty cool guy, but he's not exactly what you would call reliable. He's not a maker of great decisions, or for that matter, even adequate decisions. The point is, you shouldn't trust the version of you that created the macaroni taco to create a plan to get you home safe. Make a plan before you party.
The catcher, James Bell, will lead off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Pippins. They trail 2-0 here in Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Lefties and Pippins at the Orchard, and Game 4 of the 4-game series. Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots on play-by-play here in Game 2. First pitch to Bell, fouled back for a strike, 0-1. Bell 1 for 1 in this one with a single back in the 2nd inning. Pippins looking for their first run. Bell takes for a ball, 1-1. In the 2nd and 3rd inning, the Pippins got 2 outs before they finally got a base runner. So they're looking to get some base runners early here in this inning, as the next pitch to Bell is taken outside for a ball, 2-1. In the 1st inning, they got the first 2 base runners on, Nick DiCarlo and Brady Hormel, with a hit by pitch and a walk before going ground out, strikeout, pop out. Unable to capitalize there. The 2-1 to Bell, taken for a ball, 3-1. Lefty's bullpen stirring just a little bit. Some pitchers not warming up by throwing pitches, but warming up with some arm bands and stretches. James Bell takes the 3-1 in for a strike. Count moves full, 3-2 to start off the bottom of the 4th inning now. Halfway through this ball game, a 7-inning game. Both games 7 innings here in the doubleheader today. Don't want to give these guys 2 9-inning games. That would be a little too tough for them. Bell takes this one out to second base, dies in the infield dirt, and Bell hustling over to first makes it in time. And that was a very awkward play there. It was kind of floating out towards second base before dying in the dirt. And the Pippins have their first base runner on with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing 2-0. That'll bring up the left fielder Christian Padilla, rounding out the order today for the Pippins. Engbrandt takes a look over at first. Bell takes his lead. Engbrandt comes set. Now the first pitch to Padilla, taken high for a ball, 1-0. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit here in Yakima as the sun is setting over the valley of hills. 1-0 is the count to Padilla. Takes this one fouled back up over the press box. Count evens up at 1-1. That one did not go up over the press box. That was actually a catch made by a fan in the stands. The fans cheering for catch made. Engbrandt comes set. Now the 1-1 to Padilla. Fouled back into the stands again. 1-2. Padilla 1 for 1 so far in this one, a single back in the 2nd inning. Pippins still looking for their first run in this one, trailing 2-0. As we enter what is essentially the bottom of the 6th inning, with 3 more innings after this to be played. Next pitch to Padilla. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Padilla takes his slow walk back to the dugout, and that'll bring up the top of the order once again for the Pippins in the shortstop, Nick DiCarlo. 1 out now here in the bottom of the 4th inning. James Bell on at first base for the Pippins. DiCarlo has reached base both times in both of his previous at-bats so far in this one. First pitch to him, taken inside for a ball, 1-0. He was hit by a pitch, first pitch of the at-bat, back in the 1st inning, and then hit a single in his next at-bat in the 2nd. Time called by DiCarlo. Steps out of the box, 1 foot. Now steps back in. Engbrandt looking for his sign. Bell takes his lead at first. Now the pitch from Engbrandt. Fouled straight back. Count evens up at 1-1. One and 1 is the count to DiCarlo with 1 out. Pippins with 5 hits, but no runs so far in this one. Next pitch from Engbrandt. Hits DiCarlo once again. He's been hit by a pitch twice now and has reached base in all 3 of his at-bats. Pippins now with 2 runners on with 1 out, and Brady Hormel, the second baseman, coming up.
Now batting for the Pippins, the second baseman, Brady Hormel.
Lefty's bullpen now getting a little more active as Dwayne Engbrandt has allowed 2 runners on and gotten 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning in a close game, 2-0 Lefty's lead. First pitch to Hormel is hacked on and missed for a strike, 0-1. Hormel 0 for 1 in this one, a walk in the first inning and a ground out in the second. Bell on at second and DiCarlo on at first. Hormel fouls one straight back to the backstop, 0-2. Hormel falls into a hole early in this at-bat. Infield shifted to the right for Hormel once again. Brandt gets his sign and comes set. Now the 0-2 pitch from him to Brady Hormel. Taken on the outside corner. First strike 3, and the catcher, Takayoshi, thought that was out number 3, but only 2 outs. Now as Kyle Dean will come in. Takayoshi ready to head back to the bench, but not quite. Kyle Dean will get a chance here for the Pippins with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Steps in for the first pitch from Brandt. Swung on, chopped out to shortstop. This is going to be a close play at first, but it's going to be in time. Trevor Rosenberg throws over to first for out number 3. Pippins still looking for their first run here in this one. Lefties lead it 2-0 as we head to the top of the 5th inning here on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Puget Sound native Mike Runyon can fit more in a day than most, which is good because in addition to being a craft beer pioneer and working parent, he grows his own food, rides BMX, and has even been known to try a chainsaw carving or 2. Mike's defined by his differences. At Heritage Bank, we think differences can build a better bank too. That together, we're more than a community bank, but rather a community of banks, which means more ideas for his business and yours.
Prosser Memorial Health's Grandview Clinic is now open and accepting new patients. Services include family medicine, women's health, mental health, and after-hours care. The Grandview Clinic is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week to best serve you and your loved ones. Walk-ins are welcome and se habla español. This is how we care.
Top of the 5th now here at the Orchard. Lefties leading 2-0. They'll bring up their 9-1-2 hitters here in this inning. Takayoshi, Rosenberg, and DePonzio as they look to extend their lead here in Game 2 of the doubleheader between them and the Pippins here on this beautiful Sunday in the Yakima Valley. Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots here in Game 2 of the doubleheader, and Zach helping out on the video side tonight. Takayoshi steps in. Pippin starter Tristan Vreeling still on the mound. First pitch to Takayoshi, taken low for a ball, 1-0. Takayoshi 0 for 1 in this one with a strikeout swinging back in the 3rd inning. Vreeling, the next pitch to him. Swung on, hit out into right field for a base hit. Lefty's dugout going crazy for Takayoshi there, as he's now 1 for 2 in this ball game. Back to the top of the lineup for the Lefties with the shortstop Trevor Rosenberg coming up. Rosenberg steps in, and Vreeling with the first pitch to him. Check swing, he held up, and check out with the field ump. Call stays. So count moves to 1-0 on the outside pitch. Rosenberg 0 for 2 in this one. Looking for his first base hit. Throw over to first. Takayoshi back in time. Vreeling does have a good move over to first base. Takayoshi getting some dirt in his eyes, it looked like. out there at first. He's ready to go. Lefty's bullpen has a couple pitchers warming up now. Pippins' bullpen has one pitcher warming up. I can't quite tell who it is. Next pitch, fouled out of play down the right field line. Count evens up at 1-1. The view from the press box up here kind of tough for the bullpens out on the left field and right field lines, just lining up perfectly with the netting that separates the field and the fans on the first and third base side of things. Next pitch to Rosenberg, fouled towards the Pippins bench. 1-2 is the count now. And the pitcher warming up in the Pippins bullpen is number 23, Anthony Alvarado. Thanks to Zach, the video producer tonight, for getting me that information. Reeling takes a look over at first and now throws it over to first. Almost gets by Dean. Takayoshi back in safely. Takayoshi not afraid to take a averagely sized lead over at first base. Reeling, next pitch in there, swung on and missed by Rosenberg for strike 3. That'll bring up the right fielder, Nick DiPonzio. Lefties with 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for them. Pippins, no runs, 5 hits, 1 error here in the top of the 5th inning of a 7-inning game 2 of a doubleheader here at the Orchard today. Reeling, the first pitch is foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Bell for strike 1 to DiPonzio. 0-1 is the count. DiPonzio steps back in. Reeling takes a look over at Takayoshi at first base. Now comes set. And the delivery. Swung on. And not sure if that was fouled or just missed, but the count moves to 0-2 nonetheless to Nick DiPonzio. And the catcher Bell will make a trip out to the pitching mound to talk to Reeling for a second here. A reminder that tonight's 5th inning is brought to you by Denny's, located at 3704 Fruitvale Boulevard in Yakima and 2603 Rudkin Road in Union Gap. Kids eat free at Denny's from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And you can get a 20% off coupon at the Orchard just for attending a game. The Pippins are proud to partner with Denny's in Yakima and Union Gap. Home plate umpire Brendan Lynch calling for time and getting a drink of water now. So an elongated break in the action so far. Down in the Lefties bullpen, warming up is Carter Lowen, the righty out of Abbotsford, British Columbia. Oh, 0-2 is the count to Nick DiPonzio. The 0-2 hit out to right center field. This one is going to drop in for a base hit. Center fielder Schwartz up with it for the Pippins. And DiPonzio takes first base on the 1-out single. 2 hits for the Lefties, with Matt Christian coming up now for them. 2 hits in the inning, so far. 7 hits so far in the game for the Lefties now. Takayoshi on at second and DiPonzio on at first for the first pitch to Matt Christian. Curveball taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Reeling struggling a little bit to get through this inning as well as last inning. We'll see when the Pippins head coach Marcus McKimmey decides to make a pitching change. 1-0 is the count to Christian. Next pitch from Reeling. Swung on, fouled, up and out of play. Counts even at 1 ball and 1 strike now. Christian batting in the 3 hole for the lefties here in game 2. So the 3-4-5 batters awaiting their turns here in this inning if the lefties can get to them. Vreeling, however, looking for a ground ball to possibly end the inning with a double play here and get through 5. Next pitch, swung on and missed by Christian. Count is 1-2. Looking to extend their lead here in this one. First pitch makes Schauwecker bounce back just a little bit as it's taken on the inside for ball 1. Schauwecker 0 for 2 in this one. The 1-0 now from Vreeling. Swung on, hit out to shortstop. Up with it, tossed to second in time for out number 3. Lefties, no runs on a couple hits by DePonzio and Takayoshi. No errors for the Pippins on defense. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Pippins looking to score some runs. They trail 2-0 here on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Call this home, that's where I belong, that's where I belong. Call this home, that's where I belong, that's where I belong.
Finding the right home is inspiring. That's why at Banner, we listen, learn, and help you find the home loan that lets you achieve your dreams.
That's where I belong.
Les Schwab is proud to introduce 2 of our best tires ever just in time for summer road trip season. There's our exclusive open range AT that we believe is our quietest, smoothest, and best all-season traction tire ever, or the Reputation, our exclusive high-mileage premium passenger tire. Get even more road trip ready with our free pre-trip safety check. Stop by or book an appointment today at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
Aidan Welch, Nick Israel, and Luke Schwartz coming up for the Pippins here in the bottom of the 5th. They're 4-5-6 batters as they look to get on the board. They trail the lefties 2-0 heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, which essentially acts as the bottom of the 7th inning in this one. We're playing a total of 7 innings here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots up in the broadcast booth for game 2 tonight. Pippins need some runs to get back in this one. Some good pitching so far from Pippins starting pitcher Vreeling, but slightly better starting pitching from the lefty starting pitcher Dwayne Angbrandt so far in this one. He's given up no runs, only allowed 5 hits. First pitch to Welch, a healthy hack, but missed, 0-1. Welch, the designated hitter, 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout swinging in the first and a ground out in the third inning. Next pitch to Welch. Foul ball, and that one hit off of Takayoshi, who quickly says, no, I don't need any help. Just a stinger. I'll shake that one off here in a second. Looks like it got off his finger or hand or somewhere in that area. Home plate umpire Brendan Lynch giving him some time to shake that one off, and he even told him, hey, I'm okay. Let's get back to playing some baseball. 0-2 is the count to Aidan Welch. He steps back in. Dwayne Ingbrandt gets his sign. Takayoshi ready to go. Now the windup and the 0-2 delivery. This one's popped out to right field, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. So some defensive hitting, a defensive swing there from Aidan Welch works out in his favor. And the Pippins have their leadoff hitter on at first base to begin the bottom of the fifth inning. That'll bring up the third baseman, Nick Israel. Only a 2-run game here in the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll see if the Pippins go for some baseball tactics as we were nearing the end of this one. Maybe some steals, some bunts, some hit and runs, we'll see. Lefty's third baseman, Evan Hearn, playing way in on the grass, expecting the bunt. Israel, first pitch, called time. That pitch looked like it would have been in there for a strike, but does not matter. Israel 1 for 2 in this one, a pop out in the first and a single in the third. Hearn has backed off a little bit at third base, but still playing on the infield grass. Israel takes the first pitch, pops it or grounds it out to first base off of his glove, but he still picks the ball up. Lefty's first baseman, CJ Shawwecker, and makes the throw over to the pitcher, Ingbrandt, covering first base in time to get Israel, which essentially works as a bunt sacrifice there, with Welch advancing to second base on the play. See if the Pippins can capitalize now with a runner on scoring position and less than 2 outs for the first time in a while. Luke Schwartz, the center fielder, up for his third at bat. First pitch to Schwartz in there for a strike, 0-1. Schwartz popped out in the second inning in his first at bat and then reached via a throwing error by the third baseman in the third inning. Next pitch to him on the inside corner for strike 2. And Schwartz is quickly in the hole, 0-2 to start this at bat. Tyler Dean, the first baseman, waiting on deck for the Pippins. Schwartz looking to get on the scoreboard. For the Pippins, they trail 2-0. Ingbrandt taking his sign now, comes set. The 0-2 delivery is low. Ball 1, 1-2 is the count. Schwartz steps back in, now facing a 1-2 count with Aidan Welch on at second base for the Pippins. Ingbrandt looks back at Welch, now comes with the 1-2, swung on and missed for the second out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. That'll bring up the first baseman, Tyler Dean, for his third at bat. Pippins running out of time, only 7 outs to deal with now as we're playing 7 innings here in this game 2 of the doubleheader. Tyler Dean with a chance to cut into that lead. A hard hit single to the outfield could bring Welch around from second, cut the lead in half. Low-scoring ball game. First pitch to Dean, taken for a ball, 1-0. Dean grounded out in the second inning, then lined out in the third inning. He's 0 for 2. Tyler Dean joining the Pippins on July 10th with his brother Kyle Dean. So hasn't been here for a while, but could open up the scoring for the Pippins here in tonight's ball game. He takes the next pitch, which is a strike in there for, that moves the count to 1-1. Catcher Takayoshi calls time there. Looks at his bench. Now back to his position as catcher. 1-1 is the count. Tyler Dean steps back in. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dean out in front of that one. He fouls it back towards the Pippins bench. Count moves to 1-2 to Dean. Aidan Welch on at second base. He led off this inning with a single. Got over to second on the Nick Israel ground out. Then Luke Schwartz struck out swinging to bring up Tyler Dean. Engbrandt looking to go 5 innings of scoreless pitching. Dean takes this one out to right center field, and that drops in for a base hit. McKimmey giving the wave around to Aidan Welch, who will come around to score. And the Lefties now only lead it 2-1. First run for the Pippins here in this one came in the bottom of the 5th. Both teams now with 7 hits. Tyler Dean with the RBI single, his first hit in this one. That'll bring up catcher James Bell. Dean takes a small lead at first, Engbrandt. First pitch to Bell, swung on and hit out to right center field. Ranging over both the right fielder and center fielder. I still don't know who caught it, but one of them did catch it for out number 3. So the Pippins do get a run and cut the lead in half off of the single by Aidan Welch and then the RBI single by Tyler Dean. But they still trail 2-1. Lefties looking to extend their lead as they come up here in the top of the 6th right after this on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
At Cascade Natural Gas, we help smart businesses cover their bases. Old, new, and in between. No matter the age of your building, they all benefit from energy-efficient choices. Cascade Natural Gas offers a long list of incentives for energy-efficient upgrades. Upgrades that save your business money every day. Become one of the many Cascade business owners benefiting from the quality, comfort, and savings of energy-efficient upgrades. Join Team Energy Efficiency and take advantage of rebates from Cascade Natural Gas.
What does traveling really cost you? After all the hassles and spendings along the way, how much do you really save? When you fly YKM, you can save on gas, money, sleep, parking fees, stress, and most of all, the one thing you can't get back, your time. Those savings really add up. What's that worth to you? Fly faster. Fly YKM. Visit flyykm.com, where you can connect to over 85 cities. Book your flight today.
Anthony Alvarado takes over on the mound for the Pippins. The side armor coming in to pitch the top of the 6th inning of a 7-inning game here in Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Pippins and the Lefties today. Pippins finally getting a run there in the bottom of the 5th. It's now 2-1 Lefties. They'll come up with Ethan Groff, Evan Hearn, and Xander Marco. Anthony Alvarado, the lefty out of Wapato, Washington, attending Bellevue University. Ethan Groff steps in, the most dangerous hitter in the game so far. He takes the first pitch out to shortstop, bobbled out at short, and no throw by Nick DiCarlo. And Ethan Groff has reached base all 3 times in his 3 at-bats so far in this one. Second error in the game for the Pippins on defense. Ethan Groff takes his lead at first and brings up third baseman Evan Hearn. Hearn shows bunt, way outside. Good stop by Bell behind the plate. 1-0 is the count. From the beginning of this game, the lefties have been playing this conservative play style. Every time they've gotten a runner on first with nobody out, they've shown bunt. Quick move over to first, not in time. They've shown bunt to try and move their first base runner over to second, and they are just trying to get a runner in scoring position as early as they can in these innings. And because of it, we've had a low-scoring ball game. It's 2-1. This one is fouled off of the bunt attempt by Hearn. A close ball game does call for some tactical strategies, however, in baseball. If they can get Groff over to second base, that's good for them. He's the base runner that's scored both times for them in their 2 runs. And here's a ground out to first base. Evan Hearn is now 0 for 3, but that moves Groff over to second. So another swinging bunt, basically. 1 out now here in the top of the 6th inning. Left fielder Xander Marco up now for his 3rd at-bat. He drove in Ethan Groff back in the 4th inning with an RBI double, struck out swinging in his first at-bat back in the 2nd inning. Groff had a good jump there, but chose to go back to second, and the ball is flown out to right field and caught by the right fielder Dean. So Groff will hold at second. Marco flies out for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Nick Berry, the second baseman. Groff, it looked like he had a real shot of getting to third there on a stolen base attempt. But about a third of the way towards third, he decided to head back to second. Didn't matter in the end anyways. He would have had to go back to second. The fly out to right field. We will have a pinch hitter here for Nick Berry. It's number 33, Connor Denning. So Berry goes 0 for 2 in this one, reaching via an error and a strikeout looking in the 4th inning. Connor Denning steps in to pinch hit for him. Alvarado gets the sign, runner takes off to third. Good jump again. Throw is in the dirt, didn't even reach third base. And Groff is safe at third with a stolen base. Groff has been a problem for the Pippins on the base paths all night. In the 2nd inning, he hit a leadoff single and got to second, and then got to third on 2 wild pitches by the starter, Tristan Vreeling, before coming around to score. And in the 4th inning, with 1 out, he hit a double and then came around to score once again on the Xander Marco RBI double. And that's the 2 runs so far for the lefties. It's looking like if Denning can get a hit here, he'll be the 3rd run out of all 3. However, Denning swings and misses at this one, 0-2. Denning falls into a hole as the pinch hitter, no balls and 2 strikes, with Groff on at third base and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Alvarado, next pitch, ball. Outside, 1-2. Lefties 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Pippins 1 run, 7 hits on 2 errors. Denning steps back in, now facing a 1-2 count from Alvarado. Slider comes back into the strike zone, swung on and hit out to right field by Denning and caught by the right fielder Dean to end the inning. Lefties leave Groff stranded at third after he gets on from the error. And no runner score here in the top of the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Pippins trailing 2-1 here on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Puget Sound native Mike Runyon can fit more in a day than most, which is good because in addition to being a craft beer pioneer and working parent, he grows his own food, rides BMX, and has even been known to try a chainsaw carving or two. Mike's defined by his differences. At Heritage Bank, we think differences can build a better bank, too. That together, we're more than a community bank, but rather a community of banks, which means more ideas for his business and yours.
Sure, Drunk You is a pretty cool guy, but he's not exactly what you would call reliable. He's not a maker of great decisions, or, for that matter, even adequate decisions. The point is, you shouldn't trust the version of you that created the macaroni taco to create a plan to get you home safe. Make a plan before you party.
New pitcher in the game for the Lefties as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's A.C. Chavez, the lefty out of El Paso, Texas, playing ball at New Mexico Junior College. He'll come in and work basically as a setup man here in the bottom of the 6th because the 7th inning will be the last inning in this ball game. So Lefties going for a traditional setup and then a save probably in the 7th inning unless they want to leave Chavez in for a 6-out save. Pippins need 1 run to tie it up, however, only trailing 2-1. They'll bring up their 9-1-2 hitters this inning, Christian Padilla, Nick DiCarlo, and Brady Hormel. Presenting the 6th inning, the Yakima Herald Republic and YakimaHerald.com are the best sources for local sports, news, entertainment, and lifestyle information from across Central Washington. Call 575-7755 to subscribe to a print or digital package. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell your stories. Christian Padilla coming in for the first at-bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2 so far in the day with a single back in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Chavez, fouled hard towards the lefty's bench. Count will begin 0-1 now. Lefty's head coach Darren Westergaard coming out to pick up that foul ball. Base coaches have put on jackets now as the temperature has cooled off quite a bit. Another foul ball by Padilla. Count is 0-2. Sun has completely set here in Yakima. 9:22 local time. Game 2 of the doubleheader. The 0-2 now from Chavez to Padilla is on the way. Swung on, hit out to third base. Third baseman grabs it. Throw over to first in time for out number 1, Evan Hearn on the play there for the Lefties. That'll bring up the top of the lineup for the Pippins. Nick DiCarlo, the shortstop. Pippins now the 4th time through the lineup, starting with DiCarlo. They only got 1 run off the starting pitcher for the Lefties, Dwayne Ingebrandt. Ground ball back to the pitcher, Chavez. Up with it, throw to first in time. 2 ground outs for the Pippins so far in the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brady Hormel. Pippins looking to get their offense going. They couldn't quite do it against the starter, Ingebrandt. Lefties bringing in a bullpen arm this inning, A.C. Chavez, but he's gotten the first 2 outs quickly here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brady Hormel looking to change that. First pitch to him, up high for a ball, 1-0. Hormel 0 for 2 in this one. A walk in the first, a ground out in the second, and a strikeout looking in the fourth. Hormel takes this one foul and out of play down the left field line. Hits off a banner up there by the foul pole. Count evens up at 1-1. If you're a fan of good pitching, you have come to watch the right ball game. Chavez, the next pitch, inside, almost hits Hormel as he turns out of the way. Count moves to 2-1. Hormel steps back in. Now the 2-1 from Chavez, his windup and delivery. Outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Hormel steps back in with the batter's count 3-1 now from Chavez. Gets the green light, swings, hit out to shortstop. Trouble coming up with it for Rosenberg, and that'll be the second error for the lefties here in this one as Hormel reaches first base. That'll bring up the right fielder, Kyle Dean. Tying run on first now with Brady Hormel reaching with the error by the shortstop, Rosenberg. First pitch, swung on, grounded, down the third base line, but foul, just barely. That one hit the chalk right before the third base corner of the base. Dean with a slow walk back to home plate. Dean 0 for 3 in this one, a ground out, fly out, and a ground out so far. Looking for his first hit in this ball game. Chavez comes set. Now the delivery. Inside. Ball 1. Count was 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyle Dean. Aidan Welch waiting on deck. He led off the 5th inning and would come around to score. The only run for the Pippins so far. Chavez with the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit down the right field, third base line. Long throw across the diamond by the third baseman, Evan Hearn, in time for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the final inning, the top of the final inning, the top of the 7th. Right after this on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
Call this home, that's where I belong. That's where I belong. Call this home. That's where I belong. That's where I belong.
Finding the right home is inspiring. That's why at Banner, we listen, learn, and help you find the home loan that lets you achieve your dreams.
That's where I belong.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Lefties looking to extend their lead before the Pippins get one final chance at it. They lead 2-1 as we head to the top of the final inning, the top of the 7th inning. In a 7-inning game, both games 7 innings today. Game 2 of a doubleheader here today at the Orchard. Alvarado still on the mound for the Pippins. His first pitch of the inning, taken for a ball, 1-0. Takayoshi stepping in for his third at-bat in this one. The 9-hole hitter for the Lefties. 1 for 2 with a single back in the 5th. The 1-0 now from Alvarado. Swung on, poked out to left field. Padilla over, and makes the catch for out number 1. Back to the top of the order for the Lefties, Trevor Rosenberg. Their shortstop. 0 for 3 in this one so far. Alvarado looking to get through this one quickly and get the Pippins back out there on offense. Trailing 2-1. First pitch, a strike. The 0-1 now from Alvarado. Inside for a ball. Gets by the catcher Bell. It's the backstop. Count even at 1-1. Austin Lane filling in for Miles Clots. Here on the mic for game 2 of the doubleheader. Next pitch from Alvarado, taken outside for a ball, 2-1. If the Lefties can hold on to this 2-1 lead, they will split the series 2-2 against the Pippins. Here to kick off the second half of the season. Next pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Rosenberg. Next pitch from Alvarado. A slow pitch outside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rosenberg back in there. Now the payoff pitch from Alvarado. Swung on, hit out to center field. This one's a light blooper. Could get down, but the shortstop, Nick DiCarlo, ranges over and makes the catch for out number 2. Nick DiPonzio stepping in now for the Lefties, potentially their last batter in this one. Here in the top of the 7th inning. DiPonzio 2 for 3 in this one, 2 singles, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th. Alvarado, first pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Alvarado comes set, now the 0-1. Swing and a miss by DiPonzio. Count moves to 0-2. Alvarado, a new member of the team as of July 10th. Looking to get out of the top of the 7th inning. That won't do it. An 0-2 hit by pitch puts Nick DiPonzio on first base. Last thing the Pippins want to do here in the top of the final inning is give the Lefties a chance to extend their lead. They're going to put a pinch runner in for DiPonzio out at first. Lefties put in a pinch runner. Can't quite see who it is yet. DiPonzio ends his day 2 for 3, reaching base 3 times with that hit by pitch. Next pitch hit down the third base line, booted by the third baseman, Nick Israel. And that'll be the 3rd error in the game for the Pippins. That puts runners on first and second base here in the top of the 7th. One error for the second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman for the Pippins tonight. Alvarado jumps and fakes a throw to second base. Now the pitch from Alvarado, a slow one. Catches C.J. Shawwecker off guard, 0-1. Shawwecker 0 for 3 in this one. Runners on first and second for the Lefties. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Alvarado with a look, and they've got the base runner in a pickle now. Here we go. Throw to second. Throw to third. It looks like he slid in, and he did. He's safe. The Pippins failing to get the base runner out after a perfectly timed. Oh, and here we go. They've just thrown somebody out of the game. It looks like it was the third baseman, Nick Israel, if I'm seeing that correctly. And that's the 4th ejection in this 4-game series. We had 2 ejections on Friday in Game 1. It was both head coaches. It was Marcus McKimmey for the Pippins and the Lefties head coach Darren Westergaard. And now today in Game 3 there was an ejection on the Lefties. I don't remember who it was. It was one of their pitchers. And now the third baseman for the Pippins, Nick Israel, has been tossed. It looks like they're going to bring out Tanner Parker to play third base. Again, the 4th ejection in a 4-game series. Field umpire Kyle Katz explaining to Pippins head coach Marcus McKimmey why he tossed Israel out. It did look like the pinch runner, I still haven't gotten the number, but the pinch runner that came in for DePonzio is who slid in safe at third. It did look like he was safe, and Israel showed Katz's glove, almost saying, I have the ball in my glove, why did you call him safe if I had the ball in my glove and I tagged him before he got here? Marcus McKimmey heads back to the bench now. He did not get ejected this time. So it looks like for the Pippins, Nick DiCarlo slides from shortstop to third base, and Tanner Parker takes over at his normal spot out at shortstop. The Pippins have 1 out left to get here in this ball game, unless we go to extra innings. And the Lefties now have runners on second and third with 2 outs. 0-1 is the count to Shawwecker. Next pitch from Alvarado taken outside. Count even at 1-1. This inning started off with a fly out by Takayoshi and a pop out by Rosenberg, but then a hit by pitch, an error on the third baseman Israel, who was just ejected, and a stolen base on a pickoff attempt has gotten both runners moved over. 2-1 is the count. Base runner on at third base is Jeff Jamison. So Jamison, the pinch runner, coming in for DePonzio. Decided to steal third. Alvarado had him picked off, and he still got to third. Alvarado, the next pitch, swung on and missed. Count evens up at 2-2. The high pitch to Shawwecker evens it up. Alvarado looking to get out of this inning unharmed and keep this lead only at 1 run for the Lefties as we head to the bottom of the final inning. Alvarado now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 4, strike 3, and out number 3. So the the Lefties get 2 base runners on a hit by pitch and a throwing error, and then they move them to second and third, but they can't get them around to score. Pippins' final chance here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing 2-1 on the Nathan's Famous Broadcast Network.
What does traveling really cost you? After all the hassles and spendings along the way, how much do you really save? When you fly YKM, you can save on gas, money, sleep, parking fees, stress, and most of all, the one thing you can't get back, your time. Those savings really add up. What's that worth to you? Fly faster. Fly YKM. Visit flyykm.com, where you can connect to over 85 cities. Book your flight today.
Les Schwab is proud to introduce two of our best tires ever just in time for summer road trip season. There's our exclusive open range AT that we believe is our quietest, smoothest, and best all-season traction tire ever. Or the Reputation, our exclusive high-mileage premium passenger tire. Get even more road trip ready with our free pre-trip safety check. Stop by or book an appointment today at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
Bottom of the 7th now here at the Orchard. Final chance for the Pippins. They trail 2-1 to the Lefties. Carter Lowen coming in for the save opportunity for the Lefties on the mound. They're 3 outs away from splitting this series with the Pippins 2-2. And splitting today's doubleheader 1-1 after the Pippins won Game 1 today 5-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. Pippins will bring up their 4, 5, 6 batters, so heart of the lineup for the Pippins. Aidan Welch, Nick Israel, and Luke Schwartz looking to at least get 1 run to tie it and send it to extras. 2 runs would win the ball game here and would kick off the second half of the season for the Pippins with a series win. That's exactly what they need after a tough first half of the season. Lefties, on the other hand, also had a tough first half. A series split would help them out. Aidan Welch 1 for 3 on the ball game. First pitch to him by Lowen, taken for a strike, asking home plate umpire Brendan Lynch where that was at in his strike zone. 0-1 is the count. Welch with a single back in the 5th inning, his only hit. He came around to score. It's the only run for the Pippins so far in this one. This one's hit out to right field. Deep but curling foul and out of play. Welch falls into a hole 0-2. Oh, 2 is the count. Welch steps back in. Next pitch from Lowen. He swings at an inside pitch and fouls it back somehow. That one hit the bat up near his hands. Still staying alive. 0-2. First game of the doubleheader today began at 4:30. It's now 9:42 local time, so about 5 hours of baseball so far. Next pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. Welch mad at himself for that one. It's his second strikeout here in this one. That'll bring up the third. No, it won't. That will not bring up Nick Israel. I forgot he was ejected from this game. Tanner Parker will come in and bat. His first at bat on the day. Nick Israel ejected in the top of the 7th inning after arguing a safe call. First pitch to Parker, swung on and missed. Pippins with 2 outs left to try and get 1 run. Parker, the 0-1 count, he takes for ball 1. Tanner Parker hitting .282 on the season. He saw his average drop off just quite a bit in the past couple weeks. He was hitting around the .350 area 3 weeks ago or so. He takes a strike. Count is now 1-2. In the last game he played, he went 0 for 4. Again, he did not play in the first game of the doubleheader. This one's a ground ball up the middle. Slow bounce to the shortstop. Up with it, throw to first in time for out number 2. Trevor Rosenberg making the throw there for the Lefties, and the Pippins are down to their final out. Luke Schwartz, the center fielder, coming up for his 4th at bat in this one for the Pippins. Well, it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for Schwartz. It's going to be Eddie Pilk batting for Luke Schwartz. So Eddie Pilk, the potential last out of this ball game. First pitch to Pilk. In there for a strike, 0-1. Carter Lowen looking for a 3-out save here in this one. Next pitch to Pilk. In the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Or excuse me, 1-1. Usually we play 9-inning games and we have an 8th-inning sponsor, so I'll get to that sponsor as soon as possible. Since we're not playing 9 innings, I'll let you know who it is here in the 7th inning instead of the 8th. Next pitch to Pilk, swung on and missed, 1-2. Shortworks in Ellensburg is the official provider of apparel for the Yakima Valley Pippins and presents tonight's 7th inning. From practice gear to everyday athletic apparel and silk screening to embroidery, Shirtworks is the go-to vendor for all your sports apparel needs. Give Shirtworks a call at 509-925-3469 or visit them at 100 West University Way in Ellensburg. Pilk fouls this pitch back to the backstop and stays alive. Count still 1-2. Pippins down to their final strike here in Game 4 of the 4-game series against the Port Angeles Lefties. The next pitch from Lowen. Taken outside, just outside. Count evens up 2-2. If Pilk can reach base, he's the tying runner for Tyler Dean, who's waiting patiently on deck, hoping he can get an at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes now from Lowen. Next pitch, taken outside, count. Runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the final inning of the 2-game doubleheader here on a beautiful Sunday in Yakima. The payoff pitch from Lowen. In there for a called strike 3, and the ball game's over. Eddie Pilk does not like that call by home plate umpire Brendan Lynch, but it does not matter. The Lefties win this, a close ball game, 2-1. Good pitching from both teams today. The starting pitcher for the Lefties picking up the win is going to be Dwayne Angebrandt. And picking up the loss will be Pippin's starting pitcher Tristan Vreeland. Both teams meeting at home plate for the end of the 4-game series here in Yakima Valley. The Pippins returning to action this Tuesday, July 16th at home against Bend, the Bend Elks. It'll be a terrific Tuesday. $2 hot dogs, $2 regular sodas, $2 small popcorn, $2 ice cream scoops, $1 off hamburgers, $1 off brats, and more. Pippins fall in this one 2-1. They win the game 1 of the doubleheader today 5-2. And they split this 4-game series 2-2 with the Lefties. Lefties now 3-3 overall in the second half, 13-19 overall in the season. Pippins fall to 3-4 in the second half of the season and 14-19 overall in the season. Well, for McKenna and Zach helping on the video side of things, my name is Austin Lane. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's doubleheader between the Pippins and Lefties. And everybody, please have a wonderful rest of your Sunday night.